right now. We'll book your trip and email your tickets within minutes. Skip the drive to the airport and skip the lines. Call right now to book your Amtrak reservations. We service most of the United States.
All aboard!
Do something new. Travel by Amtrak today.
800-428-9517. 800-428-9517. 800-428-9517. That's 800-428-9517.
Listen up, fellow timeshare owners. If you're a timeshare owner and you want out at all costs, you're done, frustrated, tired of wasting money, you don't use the darn thing. Get out now. Hire the best Bulldog timeshare cancellation team in the business. Their in-house legal team, headed by a timeshare cancellation lawyer, can help you fight the biggest and baddest companies out there that sell timeshare. At some point, you were using your timeshare, but now you're not, and you're tired of wasting money. Before you go to the poorhouse, call right now and learn how you can stop the maintenance fees and put more money back in your pocket. Their services cost you a lot less than you think, and you'll save a lot of money over time. Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline now. It's a free consultation.
800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. That's 800-824-5131.
The Lou Information Station presents Arch City Now with Vic Faust.
Hey guys, welcome back into the show. Hope everybody's rocking and rolling today. Good Monday morning, 6:05 is the time. It's September 15th. Appreciate you being with us. If there's any sort of a technical issue or anything, just let me know. Jump in on the chat line. Facebook, YouTube, and X. Facebook, YouTube, and X. I don't have Projo with me today. Projo not feeling very well today. It happens. You get sick, and those things happen all over the place. So running the ship solo, he got me up and going, and we're ready to go where you guys are today. Appreciate you jumping in. Like, subscribe, share the show. If there's a story, let us know about it. What happened from your weekend? What are the highlights? Maybe lowlights. Whatever the case. You know what we do here? All St. Louis, all the time. Appreciate you being with us. And I'm going to need your help today because I'm solo. Obviously, a 2-hour show by myself. Oh, Projo, everything looks and sounds good. We appreciate you, Projo. Thank you for getting us through this morning, despite being sick and battling stuff that you are. What do you know? It's actually working. There you go. We appreciate you being here every day. We take you to 8 o'clock, 6 to 8 a.m. every day. Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jansen and Jim the Cat Ace come from 8 to 10 o'clock. And then from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock today, I host the show with Grant Salzman. It's the MIZ STL show, all about Mizzou football right now, and they are flying sky high after an amazing performance on Saturday when they destroyed Louisiana Monroe. Looked really, really, really good. Glad to see that. Also, Charlie Tuna has his show. Right after that, he does the lunchtime from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. So thank you for joining us every day. Thank you for being a part of our show. And anything that is going on in the St. Louis area, we like to talk about. We want you to join. You want to help us. And of course, it goes by fast, but the more input from you guys, the better. That's what we love to do. Greg, good morning. National days that we talk about. Greg, we appreciate you being bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on a Monday morning, September 15th. And here we are, halfway through the month of September already. I mean, I was looking here, I got some hair out of place here. When we do this podcast as well and live radio, you got to make sure the hair looks somewhat decent. I gotcha. National days. National Make a Hat Day. Green Space Day. National World Afro Day. National Cheese Toast Day. Cheese toast? Is that okay? All right. I'm trying to follow where we're going with that. National Double Cheeseburger Day. So cheese theme. Oh my God. Linguine Day. National Cream de Menthe Day. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about the National Days today. Birthdays: Tommy Lee Jones, 78. Oliver Zones, 78. But Dan Marino talking about NFL, 64. But Tom Hardy, the actor Tom Hardy, 47. And Jimmy Carr, 52. So a lot of birthdays there, actors and so forth. How you doing with the heat? Another very hot weekend in the Lou. And guess what? It's continuing. We've got it going on all this week. Probably till about Friday, Saturday, we're dealing with all of this weather again. Everything and anything you can possibly imagine. When it comes to the heat this far into September, what else did you do this weekend? Let us know. Did you catch up with family? Did you get out? We bring it all here. Once again, X, YouTube, Facebook. If there's any shout outs, charities, events that are coming up, let's talk about it. Jump in the show. And of course, we'll get you on. You can do that right there as we talk about. We are your Lou information station, live and on demand at louinfo.com. You guys direct where the show goes. It is a Monday morning. Hope you guys are ready to get things going as well with the heat. What else is happening? The shout outs and so forth. I know this is interesting. Another interesting weekend from the NFL. A lot of sports things going on throughout the city as well. Appreciate you guys jumping in on that. We'll talk about it a little bit later in the show. I was curious. Projo's not here today, but I wonder if everybody made it over to the Matt Rife show last night. Man, I'll have to do that during the next break. Try to send some of those things in that I have. Post that, put that back up. I had some pictures. I did see Nikki Glazer came out on stage last night. So she was with Matt Rife. I thought that was a cool touch for him to use her. Very smart to use somebody like Nikki to promote St. Louis. Loved seeing that. Also, you guys, if you were there, if you know of anybody, let me know. That's interesting. Love to see what's happening. Also, when you guys want to find out what's going on with events coming up, let us know. We're trying to put that out there to make sure we can get that done. Okay, so if you're at the Matt Rife show, how was it? Nikki Glazer, if you know anybody, we're here till 8 o'clock. I want to know. Let me know what was going on with the show. So that happened last night. Some highlights from yesterday. The Chiefs. Woo! Chiefs go down. Chiefs go down in flames. I never want to see anybody get destroyed or do bad things. But man, it was bad. Travis Kelce, he took out one of his players in the first game of the year, and it was his fault, Worthy, the receiver who they really need, on a play he should have done. Then yesterday, he drops a ball that gets returned. Literally an interception. It was his fault. And then the Chiefs going to lose 20-17 to the Eagles. I mean, everybody faces highs and lows in life. Everybody does. But Travis Kelce has not had, he looked a little bit better this year, but he has not had a good start to his season. I mean, he essentially cost him the game. Now, I know you say you never go to one play that costs him. Yep. Yeah, you do. You do. And you have to live with it. I had to live with that my senior year. The only pass I ever dropped in my life, we were playing at Kansas, and Mizzou just played Kansas. We have a freshman quarterback, Corby Jones. We can debate back and forth on when he should have thrown a ball, and I'm seeing all kinds of green, and I'm waiting, and he's not throwing. He pump fakes, and he throws me the ball, and then I try to run before I have it. Goes right through my arms, and then he threw a pick six. It was going back the other way. We ended up losing that game. That was my fault. And you never, ever forget about it. And you have to own it. Well, Travis Kelce has to own that. He really, he's got to help his boy out. Got to help out Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs now 0-2 to start the season for the first time since 2014. Now, St. Louis fans are like, why do we care about the Chiefs? You know, their Chiefs fans are everywhere. They're all over St. Louis. Like it or not, the Chiefs are supported by more people throughout the St. Louis area than any other NFL team. By far. And I should be a betting man. I told anybody and everybody, take the Lions minus 6.5 points. They're going to destroy the fake Chicago Bears. And they did. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate you jumping in on the show and talking with me this morning because Projo isn't here. My right-hand man to bounce things off. He's battling some sickness this morning. Thoughts and prayers with Projo. But he did get us up and running. So, yeah, the Lions scored 52 points on their former offensive coordinator. And it was a joy to watch for us Lions fans. You know, I had some food yesterday with my son. So we went to Mass, then we went over to Cyberg's in the Chesterfield Valley, and there's games on everywhere. And some of the most loud, obnoxious men watching football games that I have ever heard were wearing Chicago Bears jerseys. I'm sorry. Yeah. So these guys were obnoxious, and early on the Bears were hanging. And my son and I were just looking at each other. I said, son, don't ever grow up to be anything like that. He's like, you think I would be? I was like, no, I know. I was like, I think we've done a pretty good job with you, your brother, and your sister. You guys have been amazing kids with literally no problems your entire life. Just don't turn into Chicago Bear fan. Don't turn into that Chicago native. Maybe you guys have had experiences with Chicago people, Chicago sports fans, but the arrogance and just the nastiness from all of that is just not so great. So, Bears get destroyed by the Lions. So I give that a shout out, Greg, because you said, let's talk about those Lions. Yeah, I'm hopeful. That's my team. If you guys have a team that you guys want to promote, give a shout out to. A lot of interesting storylines in the NFL so far this year. Right out of the gate. And we're going to be talking about it in a little bit too, which is really cool. But the Chiefs are the big story. And 0-2 for the first time since 2014. Is this reason for concern? Are you Chief fans concerned? Is the dynasty, is the run over? It certainly looks like it to me, but they're going to get Rice, one of the receivers, back. They're going to get Worthy back. And then you have an opportunity for Patrick Mahomes, who I still feel is the best or one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the NFL. And Andy Reid didn't forget how to call plays. Poor Patrick Mahomes. I say poor Patrick. He doesn't have anybody to work with. And Travis Kelce is hardly a top-notch target anymore. And obviously, he was the cause of the interception yesterday, which we were just talking about as well. You know what we do here on Arch City Now? We talk all St. Louis all the time, all things, and we'll cover your sports. Heck, I ran into a guy that's very involved in handball the other day. I was like, we'll promote you. We'll talk about it. I think I told him we did a segment on handball and there being a facility in North County, I don't know, a month or 2 ago. But we'll do it. And by the way, handball, I watched my uncle play when I was a kid. It's one of those sports where it's more of an old guy sport, as he said, maybe 50 and above, because I don't even know if people understand what handball is, but there are places throughout the St. Louis area playing handball. So we'll do a segment on it coming up at some point in time. But when it comes to football and the Chiefs, people are, they get a little worried. They get a little used to the Chiefs winning and getting calls. And I can officially say the NFL is not giving the Kansas City Chiefs any calls anymore. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not some big Chiefs fan, and I don't hate them, but they got screwed yesterday. Not once, but twice. When officials do not call the Eagles' offensive line for false starts when they're doing their push, which is already almost impossible to stop. And then they allow the Eagles to also move early. The NFL has always had problems with officiating, but it is interesting how the tide has turned. Chief fans, and you know, because most of you even admitted it when I would speak to you, they would get calls year after year after year. Chiefs aren't getting the calls anymore, and they're 0-2, and they look old. And Patrick Mahomes doesn't have anybody to throw to. They're 0-2. They go and play the Giants in New York, and the Giants look pretty darn good against Cowboys yesterday. Lost in overtime. But don't be surprised about the Chiefs having difficult in New York. And even if they win that game, then guess what? The week after, they play the Packers. They're in trouble. I'm telling you, the Chiefs are officially in trouble, and we will see if that game kind of puts a final nail in their coffin, because it's been fun to watch the Chiefs have success. Will the Chiefs still have all these fans in St. Louis if they start to struggle, if they're not a playoff team, if they're not doing what they used to do? I don't know. Will they be the St. Louis football media darling team? Not quite sure. I do know that Patrick Mahomes isn't going anywhere. I do know that he needs some help. I do know that the Chiefs have some good coaches. But we will see. Good morning to you, Donna and Greg and Ben jumping in. Ben, good morning. Good morning. Greg says, always harder staying on top. Dynasties come and go. That's what happens. And the NFL is made for parity. Chiefs don't get those top draft picks like they were used to when you're finishing at the top of the league every year. Donna with a shout out, because we love you guys to throw whatever you want out there. The game with Pitt in college football versus West Virginia was amazing. West Virginia came all the way back from behind to win. Lots of great games this weekend. Yes, they did. Rich Rodriguez is the West Virginia coach. I had a chance to cover Rich Rod when he was at Michigan, when I was an anchor, sports anchor in Detroit, covering the Wolverines. Love dealing with Rich Rod. Wasn't good for him in Michigan, but he's back where he's from, doing very well. So there's your shout out for the West Virginia Mountaineers. Greg says, sounds like a new real Men of Genius is coming. I need Mr. Magoo glasses, please. I have no idea what you're talking about, Greg, but maybe you can explain. So Chiefs Nation, struggling. Did your guys' team win? Mine did, the Lions. Was glad to see that. Other shout outs from the NFL, if you guys want to put those out there, we will do that. You know what we do? We do a lot of sports. We do St. Louis things. We do ideas and topics that are being talked about throughout the St. Louis area. You guys help us do that as well. What's happening in your families, your communities, your neighborhoods, your walk of life, any of those things that are going on. It is fun talking sports. It is fun talking life. It is fun talking entertainment and meeting people and trying to get a vibe of St. Louis when I'm out there. And it is good because I'm asking people now, what are you doing? Where are you going? What's up with you? What do you think about? And it gets people thinking. I start to see people talking. And I've always enjoyed meeting new people. And if you guys hear any topics or stories and are asking people, let us know. We're still letting people know about Art City Now. This guy the other night was like, how come I don't know about this? He started watching the show. He's like, I love it. And a shout out we'll have on the show again. Our old friend, Derek Pratt, he runs a driver service. Ran into him yesterday. He's got some interesting things that are happening when it comes to ride sharing services and what he's been doing. Those things are going to be interesting to talk about as well. Greg says the refs, the NFL. Oh, that's what you mean. Mr. Magoo glasses. Well, I've always been convinced, maybe not every game, but I do think there's some sort of situation script going on. People can say I'm crazy. I think there is. Maybe not every game, but there are some games. There is absolutely no doubt. It is happening. 6:22 is our time, September 15th. Those are some of the things that were going on. Also, and I'll bring it up a little bit later, if you went to the Matt Rife show, how was it? How was he? Did you hear from anything? Nikki Glazer was there as well. Just like to connect with people. If you were at the Deftones on Saturday, I did not go. So Real Men of Genius parody of NFL refs. That's your ticket. But the NFL would never let that happen. It would never happen. And we appreciate you guys jumping in on the show today and talking it up with me. First of all, it's a Monday morning. Second of all, we're coming off the weekend. Third of all, Projo's not here. He's a little sick under the weather today. And then we don't have any guests. So yeah, we're here for 2 hours. I love talking with you guys. Somebody asked me yesterday, they're like, do you have an issue how do you talk for 2 hours? We just keep going. You get the topics, you talk with the people, and you go. I said, I'm all talked out. I don't want to talk the rest of the day. And I'm glad to have my voice back for the most part as well. So all good in our hood over here. We are Art City now, broadcasting live out of the Chesterfield Valley Strategic Air Services. I'm Vic Faust, Projo, not here today. Got you Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m., all things St. Louis, all the time. Ryan jumping in. Good morning to you. He says, Vic, I know you were loving that Lions game yesterday. Nothing like a blowout win over a division rival and your former offensive coordinator. And Ryan, I don't know when you jumped in the show, but I did take some time to talk about nasty, obnoxious, loud, rude Bear fan. And almost all the Bears fans that I've ever known are like that. Just these nasty, loud, obnoxious people. And they're losers now. The Bears are losers. They hired a good coach to help turn them around, but they're just nasty. And my son and I were just looking at each other, watching in public Bear fan make a fool of themselves. Just big, loud, nasty, sloppy Chicago. Thank God I never was a Bears fan. Thank God. Donna says, we love talking to you. Thanks. I love you guys jumping in as easy as it may seem. It's not. Greg says, it ain't easy talking for 2 hours. Even for me, that's a struggle. No, it wouldn't be, Greg. You could talk definitely for 2 hours straight. Maybe 3. Donna says, I'm disappointed the Phillies did not clinch the NL. Oh, you're a Phillies fan. Kansas City Royals beat them yesterday. That's true. Ryan, I love you, dude. Ryan says, talking about Bears fan, it's that old style beer. I think they put paint chips in it. They must. I've just never been around. Every fan base can be their own way, but Bears fans. So yes, Ryan, you got me talking about the Lions again. Absolutely kicking the S hit out of the Bears. And I loved every second of it, especially because of the fan base that they have there. Yeah. I'd much rather see the Vikings. And even as much as I dislike the Packers beat the Lions than having to have nasty Bear fan win. 52 points for the Lions. And that's where it is on the NFL, where we're going right now. We're getting you started on this Monday morning. Glad you're with us. Art City now. Vic Faust here. Projo not here today. Like, subscribe, share our show. Let us know what you guys want to talk about. Lots to get to still. I mean, lots to get to when it comes to a lot of the sports stuff going on, but it is interesting. Normally there's a ton of news on Mondays. And there's not a ton right now. There is something else we'll get into today, and I'll bring it up a little bit later, but total respect for NFL teams. Multiple NFL stadiums paid tribute to Charlie Kirk and class acts. Just very, 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 very class acts watching the tributes and standing ovations for him at football stadiums, which was really, 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 really cool to see. So glad to see that. The tributes that are there, obviously, Friday night his wife spoke, and that was really good. So we'll get into that too. Greg says, I'd rather watch the Browns than the Bears. Donna says she has a Bears helmet in her basement. Yeah, back when the Bears were relevant in the 80s. I don't know. Sorry, there's just an arrogance in Chicago. There is. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? So when it came to the Charlie Kirk situation as well, you see the impact of that going on pretty much everywhere. And there is an interesting topic we'll talk about too when we get back. I saw stuff on social media from one of my friends in St. Louis. And then there was a thread with people around the country feeling like if they went to their service, like Michelle Tafoya, who I really, really, really respected as a broadcaster, she was complaining that the mass that she went to, the priest didn't bring up Charlie Kirk. I love Charlie Kirk, but I don't know if the Mass is the place to bring him up. Other at Protestant services upset that their pastors did not bring up Charlie Kirk and are now looking for new churches. I'm interested. If any of you went to church, by the way, yesterday, if there were sermons, if there were, any sort of preaching that was done that brought him up, and if you thought that there should have been something that was said or not. I don't know. I think that's an interesting topic to bring up. I'm not so sure I think it should have been, but I love my Charlie Kirk. And you guys know that. You know where I am from that standpoint. Always did. And respected and tried to promote him. So we got a lot coming up on the show. We come back also Mizzou, which we haven't gotten into. Let me know about Matt Rife, anything from the weekend. We got hot weather coming back. St. Louis City SC had another good game over the weekend. Black smoke was coming out of the Ameristar yesterday, the casino. We'll get into that. Also, an awesome story about a female owner of the Colts and how she's revolutionizing the NFL. A woman teaching the men how it's done. This is Art City Now. I'm Vic Faust. We got to take a quick break. We are your Lou Information Station, live and on demand at louinfo.com. Back right after this.
Hot Take Central 2.0.
Now, as you sports fans know, it's really getting out of hand, man. It's thrown way out of control.
With Cam Jansen.
I'm going to lead you down the path that rocks.
And Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
You're a legend in the city, living by day instead of night.
Weekday mornings from 8 to 10.
Hell yeah.
Only on the Lou Information Station. Streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. Hot Take Central 2.0.
This whole situation is getting out of control.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely on advertisements.
Not sure how to get a lawyer after an accident? Call Brown & Crouppen. We'll walk you through it. Worried it'll cost too much? Here's a fact. At Brown & Crouppen, you pay nothing up front, and we never get paid unless you do. When you're our client, you'll have all your questions answered, all for free. Hurt? Get the facts and help you need. Call Brown & Crouppen now.
Hey everyone, Cam Jansen here to tell you about the experts at Fast Signs in Earth City. Fast Signs can handle any and all of your business visibility needs, from traditional signs and graphics to digital to core graphics and anything in between. Fast Signs in Earth City has you covered. The station uses them, the Blues use them, and you will love the work they do. Call 314-344-4400 for your custom signage needs today. That's Fast Signs in Earth City, 314-344-4400.
Louinfo.com news headlines brought to you by Brown & Crouppen. GetBC.com.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. On Sunday, human remains were found in North St. Louis for the second time in 4 days. St. Louis police were called to Harney Avenue in the city's Mark Twain neighborhood. On Thursday, a city forestry crew found remains while clearing a vacant lot on Labadie Avenue in the Wells Goodfellow neighborhood. The investigations are continuing. A man died after he pulled a gun and was shot by police on Saturday morning in South St. Louis. 2 officers were investigating drug activity on South Grand when they approached a person who pulled a gun. It was later determined to be a CO2-powered air pistol. A Wisconsin man carjacked 2 nuns leaving church on August 17th in the Central West End neighborhood. Jordan Grundy had already faced charges for leading police on a chase, and now he faces additional charges for the car theft. Former Illinois Governor Jim Edgar died on Sunday at the age of 79. Edgar served as Illinois' 38th governor from 1991 to 1999. Earlier this year, Edgar revealed he'd been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com, I'm Jen Austin.
Now, louinfo.com weather, presented by STL Sports Central. St. Louis sports, anytime, anywhere.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. We're expecting pretty hot temperatures for the next few days. Not much of a cool down until the end of the week, with that big high pressure system still parked over our area. Sunday today, we're headed for the mid-90s, down to 70 and clear for the overnight hours. And then we're expecting sunshine Tuesday and Wednesday, highs in the low 90s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
St. Louis's new home for the best in sports coverage is STL Sports Central. Find them on YouTube or at stlsportscentral.com. With names like Randy Carricker and Bernie Micklitz leading the way to provide you with the latest news and commentary on all of your favorite St. Louis sports teams, along with great written content and post-game shows after every St. Louis sports team plays. That's STL Sports Central, online or on YouTube.
Lunchtime just got a whole lot better at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. From mouth-watering wraps to loaded quesadillas to bold, flavor-packed sandwiches, Hot Shots has something fresh every single day, along with your favorite wings, burgers, and pizza that you know and love. And don't sleep on those Hot Shots tacos. Plus, if you gotta be in and out quick for lunch, Hot Shots has you covered every day starting at 11 a.m. Find your nearest Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill now at hotshotsnet.com. That's hotshotsnet.com.
Buddy.
What do you say, buddy?
Man, life comes at you fast. 1 minute you're cruising home, the next flashing lights in your rear view. And that's when you need backup. With the Legal Buddy app, you can connect to a local attorney in seconds. Seconds? Not waiting days for a callback? Nope, right away. DWI, car accident, criminal charge, traffic ticket, Legal Buddy's got your back. So it's like having a lawyer in your pocket. Exactly. Someone ready to step in the moment you need them, no matter the situation. That's peace of mind. That's Legal Buddy.
We're always going to be buddies, right?
All right, where do I get this? Just download the Legal Buddy app at LegalBuddyApp.com. Register and use code LEGAL for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card. Nice. Tickets, accidents, legal trouble, you're covered. The Legal Buddy app, always on your side. Download it today. Enter code LEGAL for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card.
Buddy, you don't get much better than this.
Yep.
Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey guys, welcome back into the show. It is halfway through the month of September already. 2025 continues to just fly on by, getting you up on a Monday morning. 6:35 is the time. The sun is just beginning to eke out this morning on what's going to be another hot day in the St. Louis metropolitan area. I know it's easy to complain about the weather and everything, but I've had it. I've had it with the heat. I am ready for fall like many other people. So many people like to use this term, I'm over it. I don't know what it means exactly, but I think I'm over it. I'm over the heat. I'm over it. I'm over it. I want my damn fall temperatures back. We had a tease of it. So I loved that, which was really good. And then all of a sudden it got really darn hot again. It was so darn hot over the weekend. Okay, for the first time ever, I don't know about you guys, in the St. Louis area, my son's high school football team, they were supposed to have a game at it was 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think it was 1 o'clock scheduled for Saturday, but we know it was hot in the St. Louis area. So at halftime, they came out. My son's team was winning pretty handily. They had agreed, I guess, at halftime, the other school, yeah, we don't need, let's just have a running clock. Misha, you have to be up by, I think it's 31 points. Misha, Missouri State High School Activities Association. And we were close to it, but they were just going to have a running clock. So I'm like, okay, my son loves to play a lot and they only get to play 9 games. And then another school forfeited already. I'm not going to say their name, Priory, for the second straight year, Priory. And then that takes away games from these kids and an opportunity to play. Priory still in football season, but they decided to forfeit. So the kids love to play. Then after it was announced that they were going to have a running clock, once each team had one drive into the second half, they called the game. They called the game at 11:20, 11:30, maybe on a Saturday. They said it was too hot. Okay, easy for me. And they said because the field temperature was 90 degrees. At 92, allegedly, in the state of Missouri, they're supposed to maybe call the game or have discussions about calling the game. Well, it got to 90 degrees. So they called the game. am I being too hardcore, or I just was trying to get more details. I'm a person, I'd like to ask a lot of questions. And it makes me want, and I was talking with somebody yesterday. It's like, I'm the same way. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't mean I don't trust. It doesn't mean I'm angry. It doesn't mean I don't agree with you. It's just, I'm a person that loves knowledge and education and reasons why. And there's other people who just hate that. There's nothing wrong with it's the reporter in news. Information, communication, everything's usually pretty good. But if people don't want to communicate, then there's issues, there's problems, there's those sorts of things that happen. So I just want information. But they canceled the game because the field temperature was 90. Initially, I thought it was 99. I'm like, okay. Then I heard it was 90 on the field, on the turf. And I guess they thought that was too much on a Saturday morning before noon for high school kids. I don't know. I asked my son, he's like, Dad, it was hot, but he's like, I've played in worse. And I'm like, okay. All right. So there you go. So then that happened. Then you go to Mizzou, and I heard Chris Trevino, a friend of mine, the Mizzou broadcaster, saying the field temperature was 117 degrees. So it was hot on Saturday. Just curious what you guys did with your weekend. Should they be playing? Could they be playing? All those things that were going on. So that's that. We got a lot of people jumping on the chat line. I appreciate it. I'm going to get to your comments now. I just needed to just tell that little story, first of all. I for the first time in my life, I saw a game canceled basically just after half on a Saturday morning because it was too hot to play football. And I'm like, is this really happening? Is this really good? All of these things that are going on. Okay. So back to the chat line. Appreciate you guys jumping in. Arch City Now from 6 to 8 a.m. Greg says, going down a rabbit hole, another old memory, collecting the baseball helmets from Velvet Freeze. Yeah, I remember that. Would be served ice cream in the Major League Baseball helmets. Yeah, of course. I do remember those. Donna says, I was talking about Charlie Kirk and his memory and or what happened being mentioned at church anywhere in the St. Louis area or whatever, if you thought he should have been or not, because Michelle Tafoya, who used to be a national broadcaster, she has her own podcast, super popular. She was upset. She said, I hadn't been to church in a while. So she decided to go, and she was upset that the mass that she went to, the priest did not talk about Charlie Kirk in his homily. And I said, as much as I love Charlie Kirk, I don't know if he should have been. And I'm not being hardcore. I just don't know. I mean, if it made sense to the readings and the word of the day, then yes. But if not, maybe no. Donna says he was not mentioned at the mass that I went to either. My favorite online church, the priest did mention him and has since that sad day. Thank you for showing love. Father Chris, I asked a woman if he was mentioned as we were leaving the church because I was late. She said, no, he wasn't. Also, John Stewart said in a Really Saw, I don't give an F why he did it. Just catch the bee. He was very upset, to say the least. Yeah, something like that. I get it. Go Mizzou. Very good game. They dominated Louisiana Monroe. One of the best college football games by Mizzou I've ever seen them play. And I've been associated as a player, broadcaster, fan since 1991. Actually, 1990, into the 1991 year. So yeah, heat has been all over the country. It's been unseasonably warm as we try to deal with some of those things. 6:42 right now, Monday, September 15th. Glad you're with us. Arch City Now, any plans from the weekend that you were doing? Any plans ahead this week? Any events going on? Things that you want to talk about? Things that are going on? It doesn't matter. Jump it on the chat line. It's pretty simple. Arch City Now on X, YouTube, and Facebook. Once again, that is X, YouTube, and Facebook. Jump it on the show. We'll talk. We'll figure out some of the things that are happening throughout the area. Not sure if you guys had good weekends, things that were going on. I really was wanting to know if anybody went to the Rife show last night. I did have tickets for that, ended up selling them, was looking forward to it. So if anybody went, how was it? Or if you guys know of anybody, find me some people. I just want to know, because we've had a run. Shane Gillis was here last month. We've had a run of some really good shows, some people that were coming in to the St. Louis area. What are people talking about as well when it comes to these things that are going on? St. Louis City SC, by the way, won their second game in a row, 2 in a row unbeaten. They beat Montreal over the weekend 2-0. Not a great year for our soccer men. 6-17-1. That's 6 wins, 17 losses, and 1 tie. But with new people in place at the top of the team when it comes to coaching, starting to see a little bit of an uptick. That's a sign of good things to come. We hope so. Certainly hope so. And then when it came to the Charlie Kirk situation, I don't even like saying the guy's name, but the 22-year-old, you guys can say it if you want, but the 22-year-old, as we told you at the end of last week, was apprehended, wasn't really talking. His live-in transgender boyfriend is now talking with police. So that's kind of an update from that situation that's going on. But the support for Charlie Kirk, not only in the St. Louis area, St. Louis metropolitan area, but around the country, is still alive and well. And I was talking about this before we went to our first break, after the first segment, about several NFL teams holding moments of silence for him, which blew my mind. I mean, this is the NFL. And they pretty much have power and control over all of these stadiums. They do. And many home stadiums did moments of silence for Charlie Kirk. Yeah, he lost his life, assassinated. It should be a small gesture, but in regards to how it all unfolded, but still all kinds of massive support for Charlie Kirk, the work that he was trying to do, whether you agreed or disagreed with how he said things and did things. It just goes to show his presence, even in politics, by the amount of support and the show, even from these professional stadiums and their games, in-game atmospheres, giving shout outs, credit, respect, not only to Charlie, but his family and his wife. And if anybody didn't like what he was doing, look out now, because if you saw the look on his wife's face and the people who are now lining up to be a part of Turning Point USA, and the amount of coverage and the amount of Charlie Kirks who are on the way, get ready, because it's coming. That's for sure. That is for sure. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Saturday I was driving, and we used to see some of these things happen at the Galleria, but West County Center, I'm driving up 270. I had to run over to Columbia, Illinois, and I was on my way back 270 heading north. I drive by West County Center, and I see 10 police cars, and I'm like, oh my God. I was like, was there a shooting? Was there a shooting? And there was a report. We started here, oh, there was a shooting at West County Mall, West County Center. There wasn't. There was not a shooting. But that's what I got report. And and obviously you don't want to be rubbernecking. You keep your eyes as straight as possible on the road. That's how you cause another accident. But I saw them as I was coming up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck's going on? Then we find out that there was a heavy police presence. I'll call it massive, because of a fight at approximately 2:30 at the food shop, right there in the food court. So there was a fight, chair was thrown. Imagine that when you see that at, West County Center. No reports of any injuries. The victim of the fight didn't want to press charges, but that's what happened. A fight happened, and then 10 police cars, de pair, arriving on scene, just in case if anybody else saw that or heard what was going on or was driving by like I was. And I'm like, what the heck is going on at West County Center? So no shots were fired. So many times things happen early and people start reporting things. Oh my God, shots fired. And then everybody starts to be afraid. Somehow, some way, West County Center has made it as a mall. They have foot traffic. They seem to be doing pretty well, even in the year 2025. The Galleria couldn't do it, but West County Center is. And that's why I hate to see fights and information and things like that going on. Because, yeah, we can order things and we can get those here quicker, but there are people who need to choose clothes and need to try things on. I'm a person, I have to try everything. I can't just order something online and it's going to fit. No, there's no guarantee. I don't know if you guys are like that. That's why sometimes you need to go race somewhere and get something. That's why I don't want those malls to go anywhere at all. From the chat line, I caught an ad on Facebook. This is Spinal Tap 2. The End Continues came out this weekend. Another sequel released this year. It's all sequels, prequels, reboots, and remakes now. It is a lot of that. That's a good point. When it comes to the entertainment industry, very difficult for original thought, creative content. I'm with you, my friend. It is sad. It's too bad and sad that we can't get any more original thought and creativity. But, oh well, those things can happen. Also, want to give a shout out from the weekend. We were talking about Mizzou football coming up, and we'll talk about it more in the next hour. Mizzou not only won, they have now moved up in the coaches poll to 22. They've also moved up to 23 in the AP poll, and they host South Carolina, who unfortunately got blasted. They lost their starting quarterback. He got knocked out of the game early, and obviously they could not do anything. Had 3 turnovers, led to 21 points for Vanderbilt, and all of a sudden Vanderbilt's undefeated, beat South Carolina. No college football game day coming to Columbia this Saturday because South Carolina not only lost, they got knocked out of the poll. They went from 11 to not even being ranked. I can't remember the last time I've seen that happen, if ever. Being 11 and you lose and you're gone out of the poll. Gonzo. Mizzou ranked, now Mizzou a favorite over South Carolina at home Saturday night in Columbia at 6 p.m. Once again, the weather looks gorgeous for the day. It'll be an outstanding day. It's a blackout in Columbia. Just a really, really, really fun day ahead for people making the trip to Mizzou to take on South Carolina. If Mizzou wins that, they'll be 4-0. They'll win the next week and be 5-0. And then in 3 weeks, or is it 3 or 4 weeks, their next home game, then their next game, which would be a home game, would be hosting Alabama. And that would be interesting. If Missouri can take care of business against South Carolina this week, they'll be 5-0 hosting Alabama, who is damn good, but not invincible. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, but some really, really cool things, good things happening in our state with football. Hey, the Chiefs aren't playing well. I don't know. I mean, the Chiefs will be favored to beat the Giants, but the week after that, they'll be heavy underdogs against the Packers. They will be. They will be. So congrats to Mizzou on being healthy. Congrats to them on having a great, great game. They have the number 2 rusher in America right now. That's exciting news. So we'd love to support them. Love to promote them as well. Also want to give a shout out for our St. Louis football team, the only one division football program in the entire St. Louis metropolitan area, and that's Lindenwood. Lindenwood got a big win over Charleston Southern. So congrats to the Lindenwood Lions, 35-28 for Lindenwood over the weekend. Love to see them do well. I've talked to some of their people. They said the only thing holding us back right now, we've got so much talent throughout the St. Louis area, is money. We need Lindenwood alums to donate money for NIL like they do for Mizzou, like they do for other programs, and then they can keep some of the other top-notch talent here. They have great facilities, a really good stadium, good coaching. So that's what happens when it comes to Lindenwood. And of course, the only division, they're Division I football program in the St. Louis metropolitan area. Greg says, what you think about National Guard coming to St. Louis possibly? Interesting question. When we have more time, we can break some of that stuff down. Can it happen? Yeah, it could happen. And unfortunately, there was a lot of violence over the weekend throughout St. Louis City. And I hate to see it, but it's in the same areas, and it's the same sort of situations that you hear over and over again. Same sort of victims over and over again. Same sort of suspects over and over again. I get frustrated and sad for people who have to deal with this stuff. Tony says, M-I-Z, I say Z-O-U. That's right. The Tigers are rocking and rolling. Donna says, post your photo in your Tiger uniform, please. It is very nice. I don't know if you're talking to me or other people, whatever it is. Tigers gear, you can do whatever you want. M-I-Z-Z-O-U. Thank you guys for jumping in on the show. Thank you for loving what we do. We are your Lou Information Station. You can catch all of our programming, all St. Louis, all the time at luinfo.com. Once again, it's luinfo.com. Now, I can't pop this up, but we also have the new app. It's the new KLIS app. You can download it on Apple. You can download it on Android as well. It is red, blue, and white. Check it out. It's a really cool app. Glad that we have that now to promote everything that we're doing on our network 24/7. Of course, we're here every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. for Art City Now. From 8 to 10 a.m. is Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jansen and Jim the Cat Hayes. Lots of sports going on there today with their show. Then at 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock today, you've got the MIZ STL show, which is what I co-host with Grant Salzman. And it's a lot of Mizzou, all the time. Lots of fun. Lots of real good hype and talk right now, especially with the football team being as good as they are, and some of the hype and the hype machine that's rocking and rolling with them as they get ready to host South Carolina Saturday night at 6 p.m. on what should be a really, really, really great day, and really set Missouri up for something special in the state. And I know we have a lot of people in the St. Louis area who have different pro team fans, and the Chiefs are not playing very well, and that can get some people down, but you always have Mizzou. You have Mizzou right there, sitting there, ready to rock and roll. By the way, they're 3-point favorites right now against South Carolina. So the experts think Mizzou is favored, still in a tight game. We don't know if their starting quarterback is playing, they become a whole lot better. They really do. But he got knocked out in the game against Vanderbilt. Obviously, we saw they could not do a whole lot of anything. And I mean anything in that game for what was going on. We also like it when you guys like, subscribe, share the show, let people know what we're doing here every day, all St. Louis, all the time. If you guys have anything that happened over the weekend, stories, ideas, things you heard about, water cooler talk, let's chat it up. That's what we do. We get you rocking and rolling in the morning. The sun is up. It is early. It is 6:56. It's a comfortable morning right now, but it's going to be another very hot day throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Feels like summer. Of course, it is still summer for one more week. That's right. We got one more week of summer. People are like, what? Yeah, it's still officially summer, and it feels like it outside, unfortunately. It's what happens. It's all good in our hood. Like I said, we are Art City Now. We're here all the time. We're your Lou Information Station, live and on demand at luinfo.com. Projo not here today. He's sick. He's battling some symptoms, so thoughts and prayers with him, but he got us up and running this morning. We appreciate that. Last thing he felt like doing at 4:30 in the morning was talking to me, but he was. We take you till 8 o'clock today. Lots to go on. Tony says the NFL has been very good. I haven't seen any scripts, and thank God, no T Swift sightings. She was at the Chiefs game yesterday, and she had a chance to watch Travis Kelce have a ball bounce off his hands, be intercepted, and kind of cost them the game. We'll get into that. We got more of that Mizzou talk. Can't wait to get in the story with the new Colts owner, a female, and she is kicking butt. I mean, literally changing the way things are done. Very revolutionary. We'll tell you what happened at Ameristar Casino in the St. Louis area, St. Charles County yesterday. Anything else you guys want to talk about, jump in. We can. The Cardinals season is also coming down to an end. All right. We'll be back after this. This is Art City Now. I'm Vic Faust. We are your Lou Information Station, live and on demand at luinfo.com.
Is diabetes keeping you from enjoying life's special moments? At US Med, we understand the challenges you face, and we're here to help.
With US Med, I can finally manage my diabetes without it managing me.
US Med offers a wide range of services to simplify your diabetes care. Personalized care plans, convenient access to cutting-edge diabetes tech, and knowledgeable support. Plus, we'll check your insurance so your diabetes care may be covered at little or no cost to you.
With US Med, I feel confident and control of my diabetes. I can finally live my life to the fullest.
Don't let diabetes hold you back. Choose US Med and experience better birthdays, better adventures, better anniversaries, and better everything. Call now. US Med. Better service, better care. 800-891-6335. 800-891-6335. 800-891-6335. That's 800-891-6335.
Hey, listen to me. I'm one of the credit cards in your wallet. I'm about to explode and pop like a balloon. You're using me and my brothers way too much. Your credit cards aren't the only ones annoyed. It's your paycheck that doesn't have enough to pay everything. Save your credit cards, your paycheck, and yourself a lot of PAIN. Pain. Call the debt helpline now, not tomorrow, right now. Our experts will show you how you can cut your interest rates and your payments on your credit cards in half. Credit card companies have special assistance programs designed to help you. Make this 100% free call right now and learn how you could get out of credit card debt. Here's the number.
800-406-6569. 800-406-6569. 800-406-6569. That's 800-406-6569. Paid for by Zero Debt.
Broadcasting live from the J. Randolph Jr. Studios in Kirkwood.
It's stronger than grandmother's breath.
KLIS 590 AM, Wood River, St. Louis.
House Speaker Mike Johnson is calling on lawmakers to turn down the rhetoric following the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Johnson told Fox News Sunday that his colleagues have an obligation to set a different tone in political.
They not understand that there are some deranged people in our society who will take that as cues to act and do crazy and dangerous things.
He also added that the shooting should not stop public discourse, but instead serve as an opportunity to move it forward and advance conversations. Kirk was shot and killed while speaking at a Turning Point event at Utah Valley University this past Wednesday. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is traveling to Israel this weekend in order to discuss the war in Gaza. State Department said in a statement that Rubio will reaffirm the Trump administration's commitment to Israel's security and convey America's priorities in the Israel-Hamas conflict.
How do you provide security? How do you make sure Hamas or anything like it never comes back again? That's the president's priority. That's always been his priority. And that's what we're going to try to move forward on.
Rubio's visit comes days after Israel launched strikes targeting Hamas leaders inside the nation of Qatar, which is a U.S. ally. President Trump had dinner with the Prime Minister of Qatar Friday night and said he is very unhappy about those strikes. A powerful 7.4 magnitude earthquake struck Russia's far east on Saturday near the Kamchatka Peninsula, briefly triggering tsunami alerts. The quake shook homes and businesses but caused no immediate reports of serious damage. Authorities urged caution along the coast, though the tsunami threat was lifted within an hour. This follows a massive 8.8 quake in the same region just over a month ago, showing the area's ongoing seismic risk. AAA reports the national average price for a gallon of gasoline is $3.17. Mono County, California is up to $5.81, while Simpson County, Mississippi is down to $2.51. From America's News Network, this is USA Radio News.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. You can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
We interrupt this program for an on-the-spot news report.
News reports on the Lou Information Station are presented by Brown and Crouppen. 222-2222.
Who needs a vacation? Are you ready for an unforgettable getaway? Start packing your bags because Branson, Missouri, the vacation and entertainment capital of the U.S., is calling your name. For just $99 per person, here's what you get. A full 3-day, 2-night stay in a luxury resort hotel. A delicious full breakfast buffet every morning you're here. And when you call right now, free show tickets worth up to $100. That's right, free show tickets to an award-winning show on us. You don't have to leave the country for an amazing vacation. You can drive or fly to Branson and have an incredible time. Whether you bring in the whole family or just planning a romantic escape, this trip is built for you. We guarantee you'll love Branson. This is not a timeshare. It's just an unbeatable vacation deal for only $99 per person. You book now, you can use your tickets anytime this year. You don't even need to know your travel dates to lock in a special price. Hurry, because this offer won't last long. Call our Branson vacation experts today.
800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. That's 800-497-7198.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. That's 800-803-1961.
The Lou Information Station presents Arch City Now with Vic Faust.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Appreciate you being with us on a Monday morning. We are Arch City Now, 7:05, September 15th. And we're here all about St. Louis, St. Louis, St. Louis, St. Louis all the time. Anything and everything that is going on. You guys get involved with us. Let us know what you think. What's happening in your areas, what's happening around your life. And of course, we'll do what we can. We'll do what we can. Okay. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, just responding. I was a little choppy there, responding to some text messages that we got for the show. Good morning, Paul. Good morning to you. Greg, 33 years ago yesterday, John Vincent climbed the arch with suction cups and parachuted off. He's now 58. I wonder what he thinks looking back. And we talked about that recently. Was that you who told us that? I can't remember. We talked about when that happened back in the day, and then all of a sudden, we talked about it. We brought it up. And then now I know that I saw it as a news story yesterday or somewhere on paper, people talking about what he did. I mean, think about suction cup. You use suction cups and climb the arch. No, thank you. I mean, what is going through your mind as you're climbing the freaking arch? Clearly, you have no fear of heights and all the trust in the world, no suction cups. What a feat. Quite a feat. If somebody tried to do that now, they would go viral. Obviously, this was before a lot of internet. It was before Reels. It was before TikTok. You name it. Big time stuff going on there. All right. What's happening in the Lou today, guys? Let us know. How was your weekend? Still looking for somebody that went to the Rife show last night. Nikki Glazer was there. Had Nikki Glazer there. Some other comedians as well. St. Louis showed out as we do at shows. If you were there, let us know what happened, how you thought the show was. Also, Cardinals season starting to wind down. 2 weeks left. It's like, come on, get it done, get it over with. It has not been a good one. Cardinals been on the road, lost 5 in a row before they finally won one yesterday. Miles Michaelis actually got a victory. Another just disastrous year for a Cardinals starting pitcher. 8-10 on the year, 4.80 ERA. And you already know what's going to happen before he goes to the mound. He's not going to be good, right? Nope. Yesterday he was actually really good. Cardinals 4 games under 500. Don't think they're going to finish the season over 500, but I don't think people really care. 12 games left. Just 12 games. 12 games left. Just under 2 weeks. And that's kind of where we are when it comes to the Birds and starting afresh next year and what's going to happen during the offseason. Chiefs 0-2. My gosh, for the first time since 2014. But let's be real. They're not scoring points because they don't have anybody to throw to. Patrick Mahomes is literally running around by himself. I mean, having to run and like knock defenders over with his shoulders, which is what you don't want. And, oh yeah, now we have a wonderful freaking team. They got to somehow, some way get some guys back. The receiver Rice will be back at some point. Worthy will be back at some point, and then the Chiefs will change. But right now they're 0-2. They're definitely behind that proverbial 8 ball. They play at the Giants next week. I think they'll be favored, but the Giants are an upstart team. The Giants just put, 40 points? Was it 40 points on the Cowboys? Not that the Cowboys are world beaters, but still, the Giants can score some points. The Chiefs haven't proven they can score. I'm not saying that the Giants are going to win, but I think that will be a tight game. Also, the Chiefs play the Packers after that, and the Packers look like the best team in the NFL right now. This run for the Chiefs may be over. It might be. They're not getting the calls anymore. They flat out got screwed against the Eagles on 2 what should have been false start calls against the Eagles when it came to the tush push. Things have all of a sudden changed. Is it over? Taylor Swift, by the way, was there yesterday to witness her fiance, Kelsey, who will be a Pro Bowl tight end, have a ball bounce off his hands. I think the hands are where you're supposed to throw the ball. Bounced off his hands into another defender for the Eagles and returned. Tony says the Chiefs are done. He says they're toast. Forget about it. I can't remember who Tony likes. Tony, forgive me. Let me know who your NFL team is. Greg says, I wonder how the Maddie concert went. Yeah, they had a big weekend. The Maddie concert, 3 nights were here. We promoted that down in St. Louis City. The weather was super, super hot. It was nice at night. Comfortable. I won't say nice. More comfortable to be outside and doing some of those things. But this weather's just been, and we got another week of it. It's hot. It's hot again. And it's going to be that way this week. Talking about the heat and the things that were happening over the weekend. So the Chiefs 0-2 for the first time since 2014. Are they done? Lots of Chiefs fans, Chief Nation, all throughout the state and in the St. Louis metropolitan area. And will fans in St. Louis continue to be Chief fans if the Chiefs and on this run that they've been on, this miraculous run, ends? I'll be curious to see. I talked about this a little bit in the beginning of the show. I ever seen heat stop a high school football game just right after halftime. Literally right after halftime. Suns team, they said it was 90 degrees on the field, and that was too hot to play high school football. They canceled the game. A few minutes into the third quarter, I'm like, what? What? Because it was 90. Now, I know it ended up getting hot late in the day, but late in the day at Mizzou, it was 117 on the field at one point in time late in the game. Probably getting into about the 3:00 hour. 117 on the turf. That I could understand. But I don't know, Misha, and allegedly there's a rule that Misha has, the Missouri State High School Activities Association, where if it's 92 degrees, then they may need to stop the game or talk about it. 90, it's questionable. But the teams agreed. I asked my son, he's like, that was fine. I was like, I thought so. I'm not trying to be Mr. Hard Arse here, but shocking to me that happened. But there was a lot of heat on Saturday. Mizzou dominated their game in the heat against Louisiana Monroe. Ranked 22nd in America by the coaches, 23rd by the AP. I like it. I think they should be ranked 2 spots higher, but it is what it is. And they host South Carolina, first SEC game Saturday night, 6 p.m. under the lights, ESPN. Missouri wins that game. They'll be undefeated, hosting Alabama a few weeks after that. Literally a few weeks after that. So can't wait for that. Look forward to all of the Mizzou hype that's happening this weekend. They're favored against South Carolina as well. And we don't know if South Carolina's quarterback is going to be playing. He got knocked out in their game the other night against Vanderbilt. And that's another reason why they got slammed. Slam. So that's what happened with Missouri. Things couldn't be any better for them right now. It's really set up. If they win, they'll win the week after that against UMass. They'll be 5-0 hosting Alabama in Columbia. Can you imagine how exciting that would be? Yeah, they just got to take care of business this week. They look really, really good when it comes to that. By the way, I asked Tony who your favorite team was. You said Bills. That's right. I forgot about that. Sorry, the Bills look really, really good. And he says, Vic, you're exactly right. The Chiefs have no weapons. They have nothing for Patrick Mahomes right now. They pay him tons and tons of money, but if he doesn't have anybody to throw to, it's kind of an issue. They got to get Rice, the receiver, back, and Worthy. They'll be a different team when they get those two guys back. They still have Andy Reid. They still have a really good defense, despite the problems with the offense. So I'm not sticking a fork in the Chiefs yet. I'm just saying, if they start off 1-3, they've got some serious, serious issues. Ryan says, are any of the AFC West teams projected to be good this year, I guess? Maybe the Chargers? Yeah, I mean, no. Maybe the Chargers. The good thing for the Chiefs is they play in the worst division in football. Arguably, in my humble opinion, the worst division in football. The best, of course, the NFC North, where you have the Lions, the Packers, and the Vikings, and then the lowly Bears. Also, love it when you guys jump into the chat line. Daryl jumping in saying, get ready, America. When a rigged congressional map is signed into law in Missouri, splitting communities along historic racial dividing lines just to strip voters of their power, it's clear this is not a politicist deliberate attack on our democracy. We've seen the assassination of a public figure like Charlie Kirk immediately framed as an act of martyrdom. Let me keep down. This is a long one. I'm trying to get in here for you, buddy. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Whoa, was another one here? Hold on a second. This is a long post. I'm trying. Oh, there was a second one that came in. Charlie Kirk immediately framed as an act of martyrdom. Interesting. Giving some a license to kill to justify their extremism. We've seen calls to fight or die. Interesting. And threats to blacklist anyone who disagrees. It's a national pattern of escalating rhetoric and orchestrated conflict. My predictions are that this moment in Missouri will be a catalyst for a civil war that will spread across the country. Plain and simple war fueled by feeling that our vote, our voice, and our very values no longer matter. The constitutional republic itself is at stake. This is not a call to action, but a warning. The country is unraveling, and the fallout will be felt everywhere. Missouri Civil War II, democracy at risk. Wake up, America. Okay, I gave you that opportunity to talk. We appreciate it, Daryl. Thanks for jumping in on the show. Whether people agree or disagree, huge political deal there. We try to stay away from the politics a lot. We do. I'd love to talk politics, but that's not what this show is. But I appreciate you jumping in. And there are people that feel like you do, and there are people who think that you're flat out wrong, and that's life. That is life. But at the same point in time, oh my gosh, that's another long one. Okay. I appreciate it. You wanted people to check out, what is that? McClanahan versus Kehoe. Okay. Thanks for jumping in the show. All right. Also from the chat line, Joe says, much love, everybody. Have a blessed day. That's what we try to do. Get you up and rocking and rolling every morning, 6 to 8 a.m. right here, Arch City Now. I'm Vic Faust. Projo's sick today, so he's not alongside. That's why I said, guys, help me out. Jump in. Let's talk. It always helps when you guys bring the chat Bring the action. Greg says, I felt and sweated like Robert Hayes in the movie Airplane while barbecuing last night. But worth it. Made some awesome crack burgers, lean beef, shredded cheese, bacon, and sour cream. Yummy. Yep. Those sound pretty damn amazing. I agree. It was hot last night. And it seemed like it got warmer. I don't know, the humidity, whatever it was, as the day was going on, even as the sun was setting, it just seemed pretty damn warm, humid outside. And we hadn't had that humidity. It had been a different kind of heat. Not so much yesterday, that's for sure. Also, I wanted to get into this story about the NFL and what's happening, because it's really freaking cool, at least in my humble opinion, what we see happening right now. We have a situation where you have now a new female owner, and nobody is doing what she's done. We've never seen anybody do this. She's shaking things up in a way we haven't seen. And it's apropos for our audience and our content. Carly Irsay Gordon. She's the new owner of the Colts. Pretty much a breath of fresh air for the franchise. She is the daughter of Jim, who passed away. She's taken over. And everything that this woman is doing is pretty top notch. Pretty top notch. I think she's 40. If I'm wrong, tell me. But what she's doing is she's on the field for games. She's like, I don't know anything about the NFL and football. I need to know. So she's going to meetings during the week with the players and the coaches. She's listening to all of the calls. You're the owner of the team. You need to know what's going on, right? So many times owners are not involved. They hire people to do the business that they don't do, and it's just their money. But not Carly. Carly is literally at all of these events, all of these practices, games, where taking notes, listening to the play calls, writing them down, making sure that her entire team is doing what they should be doing. Guess what? Out of nowhere, the Colts are the surprise team in the NFL a couple weeks into the season. They're shockingly 2-0 with Daniel Jones, the cast-off quarterback from the Giants. And many feel that her passion and mixing it up is the reason that the Colts are doing this. They're paying attention to all the little details. They see her around. They see how much she cares, and they're playing the best that they can. They're coaching the best that they can. I love it. And she's a female out there going, okay, here's how we're going to do things. I'm taking the bull by the horn, and I'm going to make sure that my constant presence and willingness to listen is going to create an atmosphere of trust and mutual respect. What a novel concept. I mean, they have something good going at Indy. They really do. I mean, she's 40 years old, and she's switched everything around. I'm not going to do what everybody else has always done. I love the Colts, and I need to learn this if I'm going to be the owner. Pretty freaking phenomenal at what's happening. I've been following the NFL and football my entire life. Football is a huge part of my life. Myself, my boys, my past, all of those things. And to see something like this, it's pretty darn cool. Obviously tons and tons and tons and tons of money. And she's out there busting her rear to learn the game of football. It is her business. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, she does. If I could, I don't have Projo with me right now. Maybe during the break, I'll pop that picture up, and then for you, I can't do it right now while I'm talking and broadcasting. But she wears a headset on the sidelines. Literally, she's on the sidelines. She looks like a coach. She has her headgear on, listening to calls, writing her notes down, and the Colts are winning. I mean, they're 2-0. So many props to you, Carly, at the age of 40 for taking over. Your dad would be super, super proud of you. She's the oldest daughter, and he passes on, and she gets left the football team. I mean, it's a movie. It's literally one of those Hollywood movies waiting to happen, especially if they go on, even if they don't go on to win a Super Bowl, have success, just her kind of taking over. Like one of those like good movies when movies were fun from the 80s, like a Major League or something like that, like Angels in the Outfield. Who knows? But you don't see this every day. First of all, where a woman is the owner and then a woman is hands-on. How about any owner being hands-on? Now, people have talked about Jerry Jones with the Cowboys being way too hands-on, but that's not what this is. This is a genuine interest in learning and wanting to listen to coaches. And the other thing is the fact that the coaches may feel uncomfortable with her being around, but you're minding your P's and Q's if the owner's there. And it's about respect. And locker rooms are not really a place for women. I can tell you that. They can be ruthless, very ruthless. But she's around and they're treating her with respect. She's the boss. She holds the cards. She holds the cash. And she is now watching the Colts dash to first place, just like that. Greg says, would they be called Carly's Angels if they win the Super Bowl? All right, I know you're laughing. That's a pretty good one. You can jump in on the chat at X, YouTube, and Facebook. Once again, X, YouTube, and Facebook. Join the show, like, subscribe, share the show. Let people know what we're doing. Tell one person about us to check us out in the morning. We love it when you guys jump into the show and talk with us. Tony says Jerry and his sons need to take some notes from Carly and what she's doing. I agree. Dibs on the trademark. Greg wants dibs on the trademark. Carly's Angels if they win the Super Bowl. I think you have it. I don't think you have to worry about fighting with people for that. Don't worry. But congrats to the Colts. Rocking and rolling with Carly, 40-year-old woman. I wonder if you guys can look it up. Tell me who the Colts play next week. I want to find out if you guys know who they're playing, just to see what their chances are next week of going 3-0 to start the season. I also wondered what it's like. This woman, Carly, who's 40, she's got a husband. So I wonder what it's like being her husband. You know, it's like, oh, all right, she's the boss. She's in charge of everything. And then her husband's an attorney. So obviously, they're a power couple from that standpoint. But he maintains the low profile. And then they have 3 kids as well. Just a pretty interesting story all the way around to me. I'm just like, oh, as much as I've been around the NFL and college football, I've never seen a story like this. And I'd love to see the Colts continue to do very well. Go do it. You guys go do it. We'll see what happens. This is Art City Now. We're getting you rocking and rolling today. Where is my remote? I don't have it with me. I'll have to change that right after the break when it comes to getting my background where it should be. So we've got a couple more minutes left in this break, and then I'll be sure to get that background back. I don't have Projo with me today, so I have to do it all myself. Running the Enterprise solo. Oh, they played the Titans. Greg, where is that game? They could win again. They could be 3-0 with their new ownership group, and she's doing a phenomenal job from that standpoint. Yeah, we'll go ahead. And I don't know, is it too early to go to break? I'm trying to give my guy a chance. That way I can switch the monitor around and we could just do a longer break if that's possible. So we can try to go to break, come back. Remind you what happened at the food court, West County Mall over the weekend. Get you caught up on some of the other sports things that are happening. What happened at Ameristar yesterday? Some people were wanting to know what is going on with that standpoint. Also, a recap of some of the other things that we talked from earlier in the show. And of course, promoting what we have coming up today, a chance for you guys to promote events and people and anything from that standpoint. Tony says Vic's getting ready for the MIZ blackout. That's right. Mizzou blackout Saturday. All black helmets, all black shirts, all black pants, all black fans. It's a blackout for South Carolina. It's at the Titans. Thanks, Greg. I appreciate it. We'll take a quick break. This is Arch City Now. We are your Lou information station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. Back with more right after this.
It's the hottest happy hour in STL radio. A high energy, high impact weekday radio show blending relationship values, celebrity buzz, community love, and sharp business insight. This is where storytelling meets strategy. It's the pulse of the city, bringing the energy, stories, and voices of STL to life in your city with Kelly and Gordon. Weekday afternoons at 4, only on the Lou Information Station.
Lunchtime just got a whole lot better at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. From mouth-watering wraps to loaded quesadillas to bold, flavor-packed sandwiches, Hot Shots has something fresh every single day, along with your favorite wings, burgers, and pizza that you know and love. And don't sleep on those Hot Shots tacos. Plus, if you gotta be in and out quick for lunch, Hot Shots has you covered every day starting at 11 a.m. Find your nearest Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill now at hotshotsnet.com. That's hotshotsnet.com.
Buddy.
What do you say, buddy?
Man, life comes at you fast. 1 minute you're cruising home, the next flashing lights in your rear view.
And that's when you need backup. With the Legal Buddy app, you can connect to a local attorney in seconds.
Seconds? Not waiting days for a callback?
Nope, right away. DWI, car accident, criminal charge, traffic ticket, Legal Buddy's got your back.
So it's like having a lawyer in your pocket.
Exactly. Someone ready to step in the moment you need them, no matter the situation.
That's peace of mind.
That's Legal Buddy.
We're always going to be buddies, right?
All right, where do I get this?
Just download the Legal Buddy app at LegalBuddyApp.com. Register and use code LEGAL for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card.
Nice. Tickets, accidents, legal trouble, you're covered.
The Legal Buddy app, always on your side. Download it today. Enter code LEGAL for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card.
But it don't get much better than this.
Yep.
LouInfo.com news headlines. Brought to you by Brown and Crouppen, 222-2222.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. On Sunday, human remains were found in North St. Louis for the second time in 4 days. St. Louis police were called to Harney Avenue in the city's Mark Twain neighborhood. On Thursday, a city forestry crew found remains while clearing a vacant lot on LeBady Avenue in the Wells Goodfellow neighborhood. The investigations are continuing. A man died after he pulled a gun and was shot by police on Saturday morning in South St. Louis. 2 officers were investigating drug activity on South Grand when they approached a person who pulled a gun. It was later determined to be a CO2-powered air pistol. A Wisconsin man carjacked 2 nuns leaving church on August 17th in the Central West End neighborhood. Jordan Grundy had already faced charges for leading police on a chase, and now he faces additional charges for the car theft. Former Illinois Governor Jim Edgar died on Sunday at the age of 79. Edgar served as Illinois' 38th governor from 1991 to 1999. Earlier this year, Edgar revealed he'd been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com, I'm Jen Austin.
Now, LouInfo.com weather. Presented by STL Sports Central. St. Louis sports. Anytime, anywhere.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. We're expecting pretty hot temperatures for the next few days. Not much of a cool down until the end of the week with that big high pressure system still parked over our area. Sunday today, we're headed for the mid-90s. Down to 70 and clear for the overnight hours. And then we're expecting sunshine Tuesday and Wednesday, highs in the low 90s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey everyone, Cam Jansen here to tell you about the experts at Fast Signs in Earth City. Fast Signs can handle any and all of your business visibility needs, from traditional signs and graphics to digital to core graphics and anything in between. Fast Signs in Earth City has you covered. The station uses them, the Blues use them, and you will love the work they do. Call 314-344-4400 for your custom signage needs today. That's Fast Signs in Earth City, 314-344-4400.
STL Sports Central is St. Louis's first all-digital sports network, and it's easy to find on YouTube. Catch the Randy Carricker Show featuring Brooke Grimsley Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Videos and written content from Bernie Miklasz, Card Central 365 every day, plus post-game shows after every St. Louis sports team plays. It's all at your fingertips on YouTube and online at stlsportscentral.com. Check it out.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely on advertisements.
Not sure how to get a lawyer after an accident? Call Brown and Crouppen. We'll walk you through it. Worried it'll cost too much? Here's a fact. At Brown and Crouppen, you pay nothing up front, and we never get paid unless you do. When you're our client, you'll have all your questions answered, all for free. Hurt? Get the facts and help you need. Call Brown and Crouppen now.
Back to more of Orange City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station. Streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey guys, welcome into the show. Appreciate you being here as we continue to get things going. Everybody ready to start this Monday, September 15th. It is sunny outside. It's going to be a hot day again. We're just glad you're with us. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. By the way, Hot Take Central 2.0 with the former St. Louis Blue Cam Jansen and Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. Follow us every day. 8 to 10 o'clock, sports, entertainment, lots of fun as always. By the way, on Mondays, I believe it's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. That hour is the Mizzou show, SEC-related football show. So today I do it on Mondays. Myself and Grant Salzman host it, the MIZ STL show. Lots of good, lots of positive, lots of excitement to talk about when it comes to Mizzou, when it comes to Mizzou sports, when it comes to what's happening, everything Mizzou related. A lot of excitement there. Ranked 22nd right now in the coaches poll, 23rd in the AP poll, and they host on what should be another beautiful day, gorgeous night for football, sold out Faurot Field. Columbia, Missouri, South Carolina coming to town, the first SEC game of the year. It was going to be a whole lot bigger and hyped up, but South Carolina, their all-everything quarterback got hurt against Vanderbilt, knocked out of the game, concussion-like symptoms. Not even sure if he's going to play this week. I'd be shocked if he's allowed to play. If you can't play on a Saturday and you get knocked out of a game, I don't know how they can run you back out there to play the next Saturday, and you're out there practicing during the week. So they looked really bad. They got thumped 31-7 at home by Vanderbilt. They went from number 11 in America out of the polls coming to Columbia. Yes, there's a thought that they'll be hungry, angry, but if Missouri does what they should do, Missouri plays a game that we've seen them play, they win. And then they're 4-0. And then they beat UMass the next week, they're 5-0. And then they're hosting Alabama and Columbia. And what a game that would be. What a game that would be if Missouri was undefeated. It's fun to talk about, and it's sitting right there for them if they do what they're supposed to do, being undefeated and hosting Alabama. Weather will be terrific. Temps will be in the 80s. Sun goes down when the game starts. It'll be even better. So lots of hype there. That's what we do. And then Charlie Tuna every day at 11 o'clock follows Hot Take Central 2.0. Appreciate you guys jumping in. We're all St. Louis all the time. Check out louinfo.com. You can also download our app. We have an app now, the KLIS app. You can download it on Apple and Android. It is red, blue, and white. I can't show it to you right now just because I don't have Projo. I'm kind of flying solo today. But I'm glad I'm here. Glad you guys are with us. And thanks for jumping in on the chat line as you have today as well. That helps out tremendously, and it gives us stuff to talk about as well. Shockingly, usually Mondays, there's all kinds of things to talk about. Today, not so much. I have not seen a lot. Today, just there haven't been a lot. But we appreciate when you guys tell us what's happening, what you guys are doing, and so forth, because we're all St. Louis all the time. I was really bummed out. Want to talk about, I guess I'll have to do it off air, finding somebody that went to the Matt Rife concert last night. Nikki Glazer was there. Glad she was a part of everything. That's for sure. And I don't know who else was there. Allegedly, there were some other St. Louis comedians that he used. Very, very smart. Very smart that he did get that. From the chat line, and whatever you guys want to talk about, we'll discuss. We let you guys kind of take it. We do some of the wrap up, and I'll do some of the more wrap up here in a second. Tony says Bama will get the loss when they come to Mizzou, and they'll also get $500,000. What he's referring to is Missouri will be undefeated, then beat Bama, be 6-0, probably ranked in the top 10 by that point. And then when we rush the field, which you're not supposed to do, and if you do, you have to pay $500,000 to the opposing team. That's right, directly to the team, not to the conference, to the team. But I'm not so sure, Tony, because I can tell you this. When I was at the Kansas game, and I was down on the field, or we were right by there, myself, Megan, my son, watching the game. And we were fair. I mean, we were only, I don't know, I can't remember, maybe 20 rows off the field. They had literally security where they could touch each other if they put out their arms all the way down the sides and all the way on the other side and their fluorescent green shirts, security shirts, making sure that nobody could rush the field against Kansas. I don't think it happens. And they made an emphasis to remind people on the scoreboard and on the speaker system over and over and over again. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see. Greg says there's probably not a lot going on, or see it because the Charlie Kirk story is everywhere. Possibly. Especially with as popular as Charlie Kirk was, as well known. By the way, you brought up Charlie Kirk. Very kind, very appropriate gestures to Charlie Kirk over the weekend at several sporting events, including the NFL. Honoring his life, his legacy, and his family because of what happened to him and the atrocity that happened to him and those who were left behind. So that could be that. Speaking of which, the Cardinals won yesterday. They ended a 5-game losing streak. If people are still paying attention to them, I mean, there's barely a heartbeat from a sports standpoint when it comes to the Cardinals. They won 3-2. They're 73-77. Yeah, it's like, okay, there's 12 games left in the season, so there's not much going on there either. They're just kind of waiting for the season to end, which makes sense because it's been one of those seasons, probably one of the worst seasons in recent history, just from the sheer standpoint of knowing that the team's not going to be good, just kind of hovering around there. And it's like, oh, really? Really? Is that what we're really left with thinking? That what we're going to do? So a team that's just a little bit better than the Cardinals now comes to town for 3. The Reds, they're 1 game under 500. The Cardinals are 4 games under 500. And, you know, it is what it is. Cardinals there. Miles Michaelis did pitch well yesterday, believe it or not. Got the win. 8-10 on the season, and a 4.80 ERA is not going to be good enough to make things work. That's for sure. Something else that happened yesterday, if you didn't see, the Ameristar Casino in St. Charles, right there on the St. Charles riverfront, had a power outage. So if people were over there, it's like, what's going on? Imagine being in the casino and there's a power outage. So Ameren substation caused the power outages. Of course, they switched quickly to diesel generators for power. But then, you know what that did? That kicked off a lot of black smoke into there. So people were like, is there a fire going on at the Ameristar? No fire engines were dispersed, which was good. But they did get customers out of the building. They got people out just in case at the Ameristar. Almost seems like one of those movies, people racing out of a casino, like in Ocean's 11. There was no fire at any of the Ameren facilities, but it did result in outages for about 250 customers, including customers, meaning houses, including everybody that was over at Ameristar at the time as well. So that's what you have going on. We also talked a little bit earlier, if you're just joining us as well, when it came to West County Center on Saturday. There were no gunshots fired at West County Center. There was a fight in the food court. Somebody started a report, and this is what happens when local news, and local news is really, I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but we all know local news has really lost its luster over the last 5 years. And the weekends are even worse. That no staffs, there's no money. There's not a lot of marketing dollars that are coming into local stations anymore. They have skeleton staffs on the weekends, and you don't have experience on the weekends. You have people like, oh, well, there's and then they start reporting this stuff without having it verified. It's journalism 101, but there's not a lot of journalism left anymore to know that you verify before you start reporting. But people want to be first, and they're, oh my gosh, I can get a name for myself. So no shots were fired. There were those reports that were out there, but they were not true. Unfortunately, they were not true. Fortunately, unfortunately, that story happened. And it's like, really? Really? So there was a fight. Those things happen. And I'm just glad to see the West County Center is still a place where people go. That keep it. We don't want the issues and the problems. We want things to be good. We want things to go well over there. I still like running by a mall if I need to. You can't order everything, and everybody can't order everything that works perfectly for them too. From the chat line, Greg says Cardinals in the basement. Oh no, it's the apocalypse. It feels that way in St. Louis, but it doesn't even feel like the apocalypse to me anymore. It just feels like people don't give a damn. It's just like, yeah, whatever. That's worse than people being pissed off. When you're pissed off, people care. When people don't care is when it's like the apathy is over the top. I've never seen apathy. I mean, at least I don't remember it, apathy like this when it comes to St. Louis Cardinal baseball. I just haven't. I mean, who knows what opening day will even be like again next year? I mean, do people even care? That's how bad it's gotten with the Cardinals. And we've talked about it for a while now. Peter says local. Red is all weather and traffic. Oh, local news. But local red is all weather traffic. I don't know exactly what you're saying. I'm trying local news. Okay. Glenn says, Vic, it went downhill when you left. Okay. It was on its way down. There's no integrity. You got people who are willing to say things and battle in the newsroom meetings as well. And everybody's just a yes, ma'am. Just they're worried about their jobs. They're worried about the money. And that's why there's not a lot of great people there. There's not. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not. There's some good people, but there's a lot of bad people. And there's people who just they don't really know what true journalism is. They don't know how to cover a story and make it entertaining. The storytelling has been lost. And then the honesty was lost when it came to the local news stories from that standpoint. Donna says, I love the early news, 4 a.m. news team in her area, but she is not in the St. Louis area. Oh, and traffic. I gotcha. Ugh. Fingers don't work. Just weather. Okay, I gotcha. Yep, I see. Yard sales for all the leftover giveaways. Got it. That's good too. Okay, appreciate you guys jumping in, letting us know what's going on from that standpoint. We are Arch City Now here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. as we were covering the stories that were making news from the weekend. We talked about the Chiefs. 0-2 for the first time since 2014. Chiefs fans, are you freaking out? Are you out there right now? Are you even paying attention? Are you concerned? Because if I'm a Chiefs fan, I should be concerned. Yes, they're going to get some players back. They'll get Worthy back, their receiver. They'll get Rice back, their receiver. But will it be too late at that time? They'd play in, I think, the worst division in football, so they could still win the division and come out of nowhere. But you don't want to get too far behind, because right now you've also got the Chiefs playing. Well, they play the Giants this week. I think that's in New York. But then they play the Packers the week after. The Packers are legit. Could you imagine the Chiefs being 1-3 to start the season? Is that going to freak Chief Nation out? I think it would. And I'm telling you, it should. But it's still early. They may not be the dominant Chiefs team, but they could still be a team that wins the division. because the division is so poor. I mean, very poor. It's poor. So you may have a chance, Chiefs fans, to stay there. Also from the chat line, I learned a lot from the local news, especially events for the upcoming weekend. Yes, I could see that. Peter says, has the engagement to Taylor hindered Kelsey's playing? Maybe, or it's old age. He's a fraction of the player he used to be. He's still good, but the ball that popped off his hands yesterday and into the hands of an Eagles defensive player that was returned, not a good sign, not a good mark. Travis also is responsible for Worthy, the receiver, being hurt. We ran into him, got him hurt. It shouldn't have happened. From the chat line, Greg says, I'll go down and get a few Nikki Glazer bobbleheads. If you get one, I'd love one. I got to find Nikki and get her on a show. Love her. I love what she's doing for St. Louis. Glad she was at the Matt Rife show last night. If anybody was there, let me know. I was wanting to know how that was going to go. Yes, I was able to sell my tickets. Thank you so much. People were asking for whatever reason. It is what it is. Good news from the weekend, too. St. Louis City SC Soccer won. Again, that's good. Unbeaten in their last two. Beat Montreal 2-0. 6-17-1. Yeah, that's their record. Blues are coming up. First preseason games kicking off this week, the end of this week. That's some exciting news that people are looking forward to. It's like, okay, wait a second. Are you telling me we're going to get a chance to watch some Blues hockey? Yep, the Blues are on the way. We love our Blues in St. Louis. We also need something besides Mizzou to do well because we don't have any other teams that are doing anything right now. And Mizzou is certainly filling the void that we love from that standpoint. 6:49 here with you for a few more minutes. If there's anything you guys want to promote, jump in. Anything that excites you, bugs you from the weekend, what's ahead, anything you want to promote when it comes to events, charities, restaurants, anything from that standpoint, jump in, let us know. From the chat line, let's go Blues, let's go Blues, let's go Blues. Are you going to the Mizzou game this weekend? It is a sold-out game. Those are exciting things to go to. It's a fun time right now to go to Columbia. That's for sure. We've seen that all over the place. Also, when it comes to what's happening, 6 o'clock, that's right. Mizzou plays at 6 o'clock this Saturday. They're ready to rock and roll. By the way, Mizzou is a favorite in that game, 3-point favorite over South Carolina. All of a sudden, just like that. Want to give a shout out to Lindenwood as well. They're our local team, the only local Division I football team. They beat Charleston Southern over the weekend. Good win for the program. Final score there, 35-28. Looking very, very good. So that's awesome. And then I thought I sent this. I'm looking for it right now. When it came to some information that we had, where's it at here? Let me see. Yeah, why isn't that there? It should have been sent. I was trying to get you guys a picture of Carly Irsay on the sidelines doing what she does when it comes to promoting the football team. As the owner of the Colts are now 2-0, and you've got Carly on the sidelines, a 40-year-old woman learning the game, very humble, dedicating her life now to making sure that the Colts can be as good as they can be. They're 2-0. She's been hanging out, and they're 2-0. Just like that. It's like, okay, is this really happening? Yes, this is really happening. You've got a 40-year-old female, the oldest daughter of Jim Irsay, who passed away, on the sidelines doing what she's doing now. And it's fun to watch what's happening here because I'll go ahead and I think I can share this right here with you guys. This is Carly on the sidelines with her headset. This is the owner of the Indianapolis Colts. If you guys can see it, let me know, just to make sure that is working as I hoped it would work. Glenn says, Indy is legit. And when you have this owner who's on the sidelines doing what she's doing, it's exciting. It's good for the NFL. There's a lot of good stories. But that's taking her notes on the sidelines, learning the game of football. And hopefully, are you guys able to see that video? I hope that you are. Just let me know from that standpoint. I'm watching it. It was playing. I just didn't know if it was playing on the screen for you. I don't have Projo today, so I'm doing it all by myself, trying to make sure it happens, trying to make sure that I can get this out. So interesting. It's only showing the email, and that's cool. I'll fix that for you guys. I'll stop sharing, and then I'll fix that. But it is really cool to watch what she is doing, because she is a trendsetter now. All of a sudden, she's ready to rock and roll. She's got this stuff going on, and this is her. This is Carly on the sidelines with her headset on, taking notes. It just seems like a movie, a Hollywood movie. She's like, yeah, I'm going to start coming to all the meetings, the team meetings. I'm going to start showing up and doing the things that the coaches do. I'm going to be on the sideline learning the game of football on a headset, listening to plays that sound like a different language, literally the most confusing computer language you've ever heard of, because when plays are called, they're basically giving a play to 5 different people, but the 5 different people know which part of that play they're supposed to listen to, not the entire thing. So she's learning it all. And yeah, she's cute right there on the sideline. A 40-year-old mom, married to an attorney, a mom, just sitting out there learning the game of football. Yeah, we're going to make this work as best as we can. And just like that, the Colts now are 2-0. They play the Titans this week. They could be 3-0. Daniel Jones is their quarterback, who couldn't do anything with the Giants in New York. And now all of a sudden, oh yeah, here's our 40-year-old owner, a female, changing everything up, bucking the system. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do the way that I need to do it. And she's kicking butt. Congrats to her. And the Colts don't have to be a St. Louis team for us to cover the story. It's one of those stories that kind of transcends that we talk about, that we like to cover on the show and promote all that is good from that standpoint. By the way, yeah, I don't know who they play after that, but it is great. I agree. It is great to see her doing so well and the Colts doing that. So congrats to them. We'll see. Good luck to the Colts. By the way, shout out to the Lions. They looked great against the Bears yesterday. And while I'm not a big Packers fan, there's no fan base that annoys me more than Chicago Bears. Sorry if you're a Bears fan. I witnessed it again yesterday at Cyberg. It's just the most loud, obnoxious, sloppy fan group I have ever seen. I'm sorry. Craig says she was even wearing mom jeans. Those were fancy mom jeans, though. Those were fancy, fancy mom jeans. Fancy ones. Good for her. We'll be back tomorrow, of course, 6 a.m. Not quite sure what the boys have at 8 o'clock, but Hot Take Central 2.0 will be coming up in a few minutes. Cam Jansen, the former Blue. Hopefully have some Blues talk today. I'm really looking forward to the Blues. Looking forward to some cooler weather. We still have another week of this heat that we have to go through. So it is what it is. Thank you, Donna. Yep, we miss our Projo, that's for sure. But we're grateful you guys are with us. So once again, Cardinals back in action tonight, hosting the Reds. Mizzou this weekend as the 23rd ranked team in the country on the AP poll, 22 in the coaches. They will host South Carolina. Chiefs 0-2. They got to get things back on track. They got the Giants this week. St. Louis City SC trying to make it 3 straight unwins or unbeaten streak going at the end of this week. Lindenwood got their victory. Also, just very, very enjoyable. And nothing's going to make it come back or feel better, but shout out to the NFL. Shout out to NFL stadiums and Major League Baseball stadiums over the weekend for their tributes to Charlie Kirk, to his family, and everything that happened to him last week in the news that's going on there. By the way, the 22-year-old suspect has barely been talking with authorities since he's been in custody. However, his live-in transgender boyfriend who's been going through the transition, has been talking to police. So we'll see if we know more about things where we're going. I think we understand motive. But that's another story that's been big. That's kind of transcended things. And we'll have more about National Guard possibly coming into St. Louis when it comes to taking over the city of St. Louis. That's another big story. We don't try to dive deep into politics a lot, but I think that may transcend things as well. We are your Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. I'm Vic Faust. Guys, thanks for jumping on the chat today. We will catch up with you tomorrow at 6 a.m. Have an awesome Monday.
I'm on the pill.